What up, YouTube fam? It's April G Showers back at y'all with a reaction. We got King Crooked's and Joell Ortiz's response kind of back to Royce and Joe Budden. Um, what it was is they had a conversation on Twitter Spaces, and they were talking about the album and stuff, letting people ask them questions. So a couple people asked them some questions about Joe, about Royce, and so I've edited it down because the entire conversation's like an hour long. So I've edited it down to 18 minutes. So let's listen and hear what Joell Ortiz and Kid Crooked has to say about all this. I do know they dropped another new song, Backstage, which I do plan on reacting to. If I don't react to it tonight after I finish this, I will react to it tomorrow as long as my health allows. Um, so yeah, y'all, let's get right into it. April G. Squad, this fuck, love y'all. Let's get it.
This is something me and Crook sat and talked about for a second. Like, yo, maybe we should just get our truth. Maybe we need to put this to bed. Y'all got this project. I want y'all to know that it's 100% honest. If I'm saying it, y'all can take it to the bank. Fact check me. We tried behind the scenes to make this shit work. Many
And
times.
yo, and let me jump in right there, Joel, because for years I tried behind the scenes, right? And I was working, man. I went to New York and sat in the shady offices. I went to Detroit and sat in Eminem's studio. I sat in heaven. You know what I mean? I got on phone calls. I took time out to fly out, you know what I mean, and try to patch this group together. I set up conference calls. I did everything in my power behind the scenes for a long time. And then I started working in front of the scenes because I realized that words are beautiful, but people sometimes need to see action. So I said, let me show the supporters who put us where we are at that I'm working to put this group back together and to get this music out there. Let them see it. So they know when I tell them, yo, I've been trying to make this happen, they know it's real. This project, we're doing it for the fans. And after all the support you guys given us, you deserve to know what's happening to the group. And after all the years of frustration, I felt like we deserve some sort of closure.
You guys do know that Joe Budden responded, and the one thing he said, he didn't go into detail, but he said he was hurt. Do y'all have any response to him saying that?
As far as that goes, again, I apologize. My Royce and Joe Budden response video might not have been what y'all were expecting or hoping for. But I have been really, really sick. So yeah. But anyway, I don't think Joe is hurt. I think Joe is pissed off. That's just my personal opinion. Just saying.
He was hurt. Do y'all have any response to him saying that?
He said he was hurt. Hurt by what? I don't. I mean, he. I don't watch Joe Budden's podcast, and I just never really did. I see clips, people that I know they watch it and stuff like that. It's a successful platform. More power to them. But a lot of people were sending us clips. Yo, he said this. He said he was hurt. He said he picked up the phone. Listen, you guys saw me on Twitter. I was trying to get that phone call. Joel hit me. Royce hit me. Joe never hit me. Okay. And what Royce hit me for was to give me.
And see, Joe Budden said on the podcast that he did call. Sorry, but I believe King Crooked over Joe Budden. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Never hit me. Okay. And what Royce hit me for was to give me what he thought Joe was thinking. So I guess Royce knew Joe was never going to call me. So I don't understand why he's hurt. He wanted the group off of Shady. He said he wasn't going to do a Slaughterhouse album on Shady. So guess what we did? We got off Shady. We got the release. What's it been like? About a year now, Joel?
Yeah, about a little, either little more than a year, I think so. Yeah.
So we did what he wanted us to do. We got off against my better judgment. And let me tell you why. M believes in Slaughterhouse. I don't care what narratives they're out there pushing. M believed in Slaughterhouse.
I believe
And
that.
he wanted to make it right. Now, Welcome to Our House wasn't received like we thought it would be, but it was the #1 rap album in the country.
Yes, it was.
Right.
And, you know, it was a success. It just wasn't the success I guess everybody thought it would be. But M took that to heart and he was like, yo, this time around, you guys do you. You know, he read the comments, people talking about his production and this and that. So he said, you guys go do you. I'm going to play the.
I'm sorry, but Eminem is a very underrated producer. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a huge Eminem fan. I think he is a really good producer. That's just my opinion. I mean, have y'all heard Liquor Store Church? Have y'all heard Skip This Ad? Come on, bro. Have y'all heard Ghost by Tupac? Eminem produced all that, among many, many, many other amazing hit songs.
You know, he read the comments, people talking about his production and this and that. So he said, you guys go do you. I'm going to play the background. You know what I mean? And we went in and we did Glass House. And we never quite finished, getting everything together for Glass House, but we tried for months and months and years. And it just wasn't happening. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I just believe this project right here, this is the explanation for the fans. We can't just leave the people who helped build the Slaughterhouse movement in the dark forever.
That's a
You know
fact.
what I mean? And yeah, that's facts.
We forgot that there was 5 members of the group. You know, it was me, Royce, Joe, and Crook, and the fans. Remember, Slaughterhouse
That's dope. That's a bar. That's a bar, Joel. 5 members to the group. Me, Joe, Royce, Crook, and the fans. That's dope.
was me, Royce, Joe, and Crook, and the fans. Remember, Slaughterhouse was just one song on
On Joe's album, Halfway House, I believe, was Joe's album that Slaughterhouse was on. Come on, bro.
the fans. Remember, Slaughterhouse was just one song on Joe's mixtape. The fans turned
Mixtape, my bad.
it into a group by saying, yo, y'all should continue to do music, yo, sending around that Slaughterhouse record, making that shit go viral, making us have a conversation like, yo, maybe there's something here. So we alienated the fans for too fucking long. Now, as far as the Joe shit, him being hurt, I don't know. I don't know, Joe. I don't know if I fully believe that. Um, maybe he's appalled.
Yeah,
Maybe he's like, oh shit, they did this. Wow, maybe he's surprised, but hurt. I don't think. I think in order to be hurt, you have to care about something a lot, and
agreed.
I can't say that his heart was involved with the group in the last couple of years, so I don't think he was hurt. But if he was, all right, whatever.
I mean,
But
but
check
what
it.
does he think? How does he think we feel? Being
I
frustrated
mean,
over the
Right,
years, waiting for him. This
exactly.
group was essentially waiting on Joe Budden for years. And he don't think that hurt. He don't
yeah,
think that it hurts when he doesn't want to get back in the booth, but he keeps saying he's going to rap. And I don't know what or who would actually believe that at this point.
Right.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's
I
been 10
don't.
years.
I mean, listen, like I was
I did say on the Royce and Joe Budden response video that I don't see Joe or Royce getting in the booth and making any music over any of this. I just don't. I don't. I can see Royce doing it way before Joe would, but I I just don't. Personally, I just don't think either one of them will. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know in the comments.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's been 10 years.
I mean, listen, like I was taught to believe what people say they are, right? So he retired. You know what I'm saying? So like my whole shit started switching from all right, let's come on, let's try to get Joe to rap to all right, so can we three-man weave this? If there is there a situation where me, Crook, and Royce can do this shit and carry this shit? And we pushed that one for a long time. And for whatever reason, it was I remember Royce saying, look, I'm not doing it without Joe. This is this and that. And Slaughterhouse is not Slaughterhouse without Joe. I'm like, all right, cool. I get it. You don't want to do it without Joe. But is that the absolute honest truth? Like you don't want to do it without Joe because it's not Slaughterhouse without Joe? Or you don't want to do it without Joe because you don't think that Crook and Joell hold it, meaning that Joe's superstar power couldn't match mine. That's how I personally felt. So when I started feeling like, he's curving this shit for reasons outside of, just if it ain't us four, it ain't a go, I started feeling the way myself. That's the bottom line. I don't watch Joe's show either. No shots. I'm not throwing no shots. I just don't really watch pods, and y'all know me. I ain't really on socials like that. But so I don't watch a show. But somebody sent me a clip saying where Joe said some people got to do things for bags, and that's why he supports whole culture. Let me take a second to hold on to that for a second. For bags, yeah, anybody that knows Joell Ortiz pre-Slaughterhouse and post-Slaughterhouse knows I've never ever done anything for a bag. I've never compromised my music or my message. I'm not out here rapping on no trap shit or being somebody I'm not. I always decline those reality television phone calls to jump on Love and Hip Hops and all this shit. It's not me.
Me too.
That's funny. Because y'all know Joe was on Love and Hip Hop.
Reality television phone calls to jump on Love and Hip Hops and all this shit. It's not me.
Me
I
too.
never do anything that's not me. A bag could never get me outside. I'm a family man. I mind my business. I keep it 1,000. So, Joe, that whole culture comment, I'll let you have that one. You can have that one, just that one. But don't call me out my name again. And
That's real.
I agree. I think that was mad disrespectful of Joe to say that. Especially because, these guys, all four of them, are supposed to be friends. And Joe knows King Crooked and Joell Ortiz, and so does Royce. And Joe should know better than to say something like that, and knows that King Crooked and Joell Ortiz aren't like that at all. I think here, Crook is about to respond to a question. Somebody asked King Crooked and Joell Ortiz if Royce was to get in the booth, were they prepared to do like a back and forth with Royce? Because they know that they had a brotherhood. You know what I mean? They were friends, good friends, in a super rap group, and it was a brotherhood. So were they prepared for a back and forth with Royce if that should happen? And this was Crooked's answer.
that's just 100%.
My whole thing is if he wants to go in the booth and speak his truth musically, be our guest. They're calling me a liar.
That shit is sticking. That shit is sticking to their ribs, hitting them in the chest.
I believe that we are all rewarded for our intentions. Bad intentions reap bad things. Good intentions reap good things.
I agree. 1000%. Karma is real. What goes around comes around. You give out good, you get good back. You give out bad, you get bad back. You give out truth, you get good back. You give out lies, you get bad back. I'm just saying.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why vacancy hit 1.5. And more important.
Let's applaud that. vacancy hit 1.5 million views in like 1 day or 2 days. So that's amazing. And let's see what it's at now. Um, let's see what it's at now. It's at 1.6 million views right now. That's amazing. Congrats, King Crooked and Joell Ortiz. That's absolutely amazing.
Importantly than that, that's why the general consensus is that me and Joel are telling the truth because we are. I swear
Yes.
on my kid's life. You know, there's gonna be some blowback from, Joe, Royce. You know, I honestly didn't expect Royce to say some of the things that he said. You know what I mean? Like to post that we're united in stupidity. And, that's kind of getting down in the mud. I'm not going to get down in the mud right now. You know what I mean? I'm just saying when you live in your truth, you're rewarded.
This is not to condemn anybody. This is just to let y'all know what it is and why there's Slaughterhouse no more. That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
We got our own table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's time for them to understand that part of it.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then, all we ask is for honesty, and the way that the response we're getting from the other half of our former group, it's not honest. You know what I mean? It's not honest.
It's
Like when
sad.
Royce says Joe was on the call, Joe never picked the phone up and called me not one time.
And Joe, like I said on the podcast, said that he called. Why would Kid Crooked lie about that? Why would Joell Ortiz lie about that?
Joe was on the call. Joe never picked the phone up and called me not one time.
Joe called me and had a
Okay.
conversation.
So Joe called Joell Ortiz. Okay.
Not one time.
Joe called me and had a conversation about things, and I'm just like, all right, cool. You have to call Crooked now, though. Like, you called me, I get it, but like, you got to call Crooked now because he's waiting on your phone call. We trying to figure out what's good with this deal that Crook got on the table. And he's like, nah, I'm calling him as soon as I hang up with you. Like, right when I get off the phone with you, I'm calling him, and he never did. Like, he just never did. It is what it is.
See, I can't respect that. I just can't. Joe Budden is an amazing lyricist. Royce is an amazing lyricist. I'll never ever say anything other than that. But for them to flat out lie like that, it's just not cool, bruh.
And he never did. Like, he just never did. It is what it is. Like, I'm not here to fucking lie. I'm a grown ass man with two kids, man, with two adult kids. Like, I don't have the time to sit here and lie. He didn't call, so he wasn't on no phone call. That's a lie, you know. And to portray it, and I don't know why they not keeping it 100. I can't honor that. That I can't honor. I can't. It's nerve wracking, bro. It's nerve wracking. I deal with anxiety.
Right here, where Joel's talking about it's nerve wracking and he deals with anxiety. Someone had said, we've all heard of PTSD or post traumatic stress disorder. I have PTSD, so I can relate to that. I also have anxiety issues, so I can relate to that as well. Um, but this person asked, did they believe in something called industry traumatic stress disorder? Like from being in the music industry, from being an artist. And this is what Joel was saying about that.
It's nerve wracking, bro. It's nerve wracking.
And someone asked them both how their mindset is, how are they feeling?
It's nerve wracking, bro. It's nerve wracking. I deal with anxiety issues. I spoke about it on my Monday album. I'm vocal about that shit. So like being in a room with everybody listening to anything I gotta say is already nerve wracking. So the fact that what I'm talking about is on this high level and plane, I'm already, I'm on edge. The only thing that's making me sit well in my chair is knowing that I'm speaking facts and honesty. That's the only thing that's like, all right, Joel, just say what it is. Like, because every time in your life where you keep it 1,000, there's a blessing on the other side of it.
Yep.
So I'm keeping that mind frame and that thought when I'm speaking to all of y'all. But I don't want to be doing this. I'd much rather be doing music. That's my comfortable space. The booth, although it's a box and I'm inside of it, I feel like I'm more outside than any other place on the planet when I'm in front of the microphone. So that's my happy place. That's where I feel best. That's where I make, music. That's where I listen back and that's my therapy.
Amen to that. What have I always told y'all? What have I always told y'all is my therapy? Prayer, writing, and music. Prayer, writing, and music. I've said that numerous times. That's my therapy. Prayer, writing, and music.
Music, that's where I listen back and that's my therapy. But another level of discomfort comes when somebody that was on your team is lying though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody you called a friend. We was on tour for months, man. We was on the grind. We was building this shit out.
I can relate to that. I've had people that I thought were good friends of mine that has straight up just lied on me. Recently, you know, and I've had people that I considered, you know, my sister, that I've considered my brothers, uh, that just straight up lied on me. And some continue to lie on me to this very day and continue to, you know, some of them I haven't talked to in, a year, year and a half, 2 years, some longer than that, that still continue to talk shit about me to this very day. And for what? And do petty things, very petty things, for no reason other than to be petty. And then they paint themselves in this magnificent light, like they're just, they know everything about certain things, and I don't know anything, or I can't have an opinion because I don't know as much as they know in certain things. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I've had people say that I'm lying about me having congestive heart failure, and um, just all kinds of people say, even my own family members say that I'm still on drugs, and people say that they were gonna do things, but never did them, whether it be a reaction or uh, other things, and just lie. Like, if you ain't gonna do it, or if you tell me you're gonna do something, but then you can't do it, just be an adult and message me and say, yo, I know I said I was gonna do this, but I'm not gonna be able to do it. My bad. And I will respect you. I mean, it may hurt my feelings a little bit, but I will respect you so much more, and we can move past it and continue to rock with each other. But I can't rock with people that just lie and don't keep their word and stuff like that, unless it's like um, something that happens that's beyond their control. I can't rock with people that do things just to be petty, uh, for no reason, especially when I did nothing to deserve it. You know what I'm saying? So, it just is what it is. In your life, you'll find most of the time you can only count on one hand how many people are your real, true, genuine ride or die, loyal, 1,000% friends. That's just it is what it is. As you get older and stuff like that, I'm 41, you know, and I can count on one hand, how many people are my true, genuine, 100% friends that I know I can count on, that I know ain't gonna lie to me, that I know, you know what I'm saying? It's sad, but it's the truth. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad those other people, I've blocked them and cut them out of my life. And, you know, at first it was difficult and sad and it broke my heart, but now I'm good and it is what it is. And those people won't ever have access to my life again, period.
Music, that's where I listen back and
Sometimes people come into your life just to teach you how to let go. I love that quote.
that's where I make, music. That's where I listen back and that's my therapy. But another level of discomfort comes when somebody that was on your team is lying though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody you called a friend. We was on tour for months, man. We was on the grind. We was building this shit out together. We shared stories. We had laughs. It wasn't all bad. I don't want to get in this room and feel like it was all bad because there was some great shit. And that's the great shit that I and Crook was fighting for. You get what I'm saying? So this shit is fucking nerve wracking, and it's a pain in the ass for it to have to come to this. I didn't want Slaughterhouse's ending to be this. I wanted the reuniting at Coachella. You know what I'm saying? We was trying to foreshadow that shit. I wanted all the good stuff to happen. I wanted Marshall to feel like we all good. I wanted everybody to get on a good accord, but it didn't happen that way. And it happened this way. So it is what it is. But at least I'll keep it 1,000 all the way out. I
Yep.
won't say this. This project, this didn't happen as a result of the deal that Crook brought to the table not happening. That's not how this happened. We didn't
Right.
burn down the brand for no fucking check.
Right. He's addressing what Royce said on Instagram. I put it in my Royce and Joe Budden's response video, the Instagram post that Royce said, and he was talking about that, two of your partners, these aren't his exact words, but basically, two of your partners have a deal and don't let the other two know. Yes, there's a check involved, but the catch is you have to burn, you know, the building down. He was using like an apartment building as a metaphor for their group. You have to burn it down. Would you do it? Didn't think so, me neither. Implying that Kid Crooked and Joell Ortiz did this behind Joe and Royce's backs and burned Slaughterhouse. But Royce was online saying that Slaughterhouse Group was no more, was never happening again, was dead, was done, whatever you want to call it. He was online saying that a year, 2 years ago, something like that. Royce said it. But now that Kid Crooked and Joell Ortiz is making this album and saying what happened, is saying that the group is no more, now all of a sudden it's their fault. When they're sitting here telling us that they tried, they tried to get the group back together, both behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. King Crooked said that. And Joe said no, he didn't want to do it. If it was on Shady Records, they got off Shady Records. Joe still didn't do it. So then they're like, okay, well. And then Royce said he didn't want to do it without Joe. So, hello, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why the group split up. It wasn't King Crooked and Joell Ortiz that did it. They were trying to keep it together. And then when Joe said he didn't want to do it, even after they got off Shady Records, and then Royce said he didn't want to do it without Joe, what do they expect? King Crooked and Joell to never make music together anymore? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, bro.
The deal was on the table for us four. Although I knew Joe was retired, Crook knew Joe was retired, we still presented it like fucking men. Yo, listen, there's a deal on the table for us four. Bring it to him. All right, Joe's retired. We know that. All right, cool. What's next? Yo, would y'all be entertaining? Would y'all be interested in entertaining us three? Yo, hell yeah. Let's see what's going on. Talk to Royce. We speak to Royce, and Royce's stance is it's not clear, whatever, but for a long time he's told us in the past, I don't want to do this shit without Joe. I don't want to do this shit without Joe. All right, cool. So when his response is hazy, or it's just like, well, let's all talk. I think Joe want to rap. All right, cool. We'll give it a little bit of time. Weeks go by, months go by, no phone calls, no nothing. The Mickey shit happens and Lupe shit happens. I get back on the phone with him. I'm like, what's going on? He's just like, man, it is what it is, boom, 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 shoot the shit. I don't know if he's harboring no shit for nobody rapping against them guys. I don't really know what it is. What I'm saying is, it wasn't vocalized that there was any feelings being.
If he said, he don't know if Royce was harboring feelings that nobody rapped against Lupe and Mickey and them. First of all, Kid Vicious, Royce's little brother, did, number one. Number two, why would Royce get mad about, and I'm not saying he did, he may not have, but let's just say he did. If he did feel some type of way about Crook or Joell or whoever not rapping against Lupe and Mickey and all that's dumb. Royce didn't even get back in the booth and rap against Mickey and Lupe. Royce's first track, I reacted to all of them. I reacted to Royce's track, I reacted to Lupe's, I reacted to Mickey Fax, and I reacted to Kid Vicious's track. All of them. And Royce didn't even respond back after, Royce went very light, and it wasn't really like a diss track. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a showing off his technical lyricism ability, pretty much. Lupe's was more of a diss. Mickey's was a diss, and Kid Vicious's was more of a diss. And all Royce did was get on Instagram to talk his shit on Instagram. He didn't respond back to him at all. So if he himself wouldn't even respond back to him, his little brother Kid Vicious responded back to him in his honor, which I highly respect. I would do the same thing if it were my siblings. But, if it was one of my good friends, for instance, who also raps, and my good friend didn't even take the time to respond back to someone who had dissed them, I'm not going to respond back and diss them, because I'm thinking, well, obviously he don't want to go there, or she don't want to go there, and my friend don't want to give them no attention in that way. So then I'm not going to go there either, out of respect for my friend. You see what I'm saying? So I understand why, nobody's other than Kid Vicious, who I completely understand. Like I said, I'd do it for my siblings. Um, got in the booth. I understand. I still think Royce should have gotten the booth, but that is what it is. Whatever, it's over.
What I'm saying is, it wasn't vocalized that there was any feelings being harbored. So I'm assuming, all right, cool, there's still a shot, but nothing, no nothing. So then I go to Crook and I'm like, well, we did hard in 2020. Let's just do another album. This
Which was dope as hell, may I say. I did react to a couple songs off of Hard. It was amazing.
So then I go to Crook and I'm like, well, we did hard in 2020. Let's just do another album. This has nothing to do with the other offer. This is me and Crook, like, yo, I want to do some music. You want to do some more music? Hell yeah, man. I bet. Let's do some shit. What the fuck should we talk about? And we went on for weeks because we like, yo, hard kind of fell at a bad time with the pandemic. People missed that a little bit. Plus, it was only an EP. We ain't really get it off. We got to make sure that whatever we talk about now, we make it count, because this is like, this is it right here. So we both agreed, like, let's just speak our truth. Let's just tell everybody what went on and why there is no more, why we're just over here and it's just us two. Let's speak that. And we did that. So that 4-man deal being declined and 3-man deal being declined, that was, our album wasn't a direct result of that. It just kind of spawned it, if that makes any sense. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want to get in the way of the universe. I just want to speak my truth. I hope everybody involved speaks their truth. But yeah, this shit is fucking nerve-wracking, man. I don't like doing this kind of stuff. I like making music. And that's why we chose to talk about this shit over music. Real talk.
Real talk, man.
Respectfully, do you think burning of the shirts was kind of personal?
He's referring to the end of the Vacancy music video where the people were burning the slaughterhouse shirts. That's what this guy's talking about.
Respectfully, do you think burning of the shirts was kind of personal?
I don't, because we were trying to convey how some of the fans would potentially feel, kind of like when you burn LeBron jersey when he leaves. It wasn't about burning, Slaughterhouse. It was more so of the disappointment that comes with these dudes ain't never rapping again, because that's what the fans were saying to us individually, like, yo,
Yeah.
this shit is whack. Y'all niggas is not rapping no more. Y'all not putting out Glass House. Y'all not putting out no new music. So that was a metaphor for the feelings of the fans. I got Slaughterhouse tattooed.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because it wasn't, I said in my reaction, Joell and King Crooked was not the ones burning the shirts. It was other people burning the shirts. So those other people were the fans. Okay, that makes sense.
For the feelings of the fans, I got Slaughterhouse tattooed on me 3 times. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
When I jump into something, I don't know how to do nothing but be a loyal, solid soldier.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know. You know what I mean? So I feel like we helped build this brand. We could tell this story any way we want to tell it. And if you want to be real about it, who really burnt the shirts up? Who really burnt the brand?
Amen.
When we calling bluffs out here. You know what I'm saying? You say, let's get off Shady and we gonna make some new music. We get off, months go by, nobody's talking, nobody's communicating. Who's really the one burning a brand down over 10 years? Look, let's state the facts. No lies, no opinions, just facts. Fact 1, we haven't released an album in 10 years. Fact 2, the group doesn't communicate regularly about life or releasing music. Fact 3, several attempts to get the group back together and make new music. They all failed. Fact 4, years after Felon, Joe said he was going to get off Shady, and we would do it if we got off Shady. Fact 5, we got off, still didn't make any new music, didn't release nothing, had no conversations. So That's when I said, Joe plays cards. Let me call his bluff. Brought a great opportunity to the group that would allow us to release an album on major distribution. And Joe didn't want to do it. Plus, Royce said he didn't want to do it without Joe. That's facts, right? And that led us to fact 7. Slaughterhouse died that day. When they
Yeah.
said when Joe declined the greatest deal, when I've been in this game a long time, I've been on 3 major labels in my career. You know what I'm saying? And I know a good deal when I see one. When Joe said he wasn't doing that, and Roy said he wasn't doing it without Joe, the group was dead.
That's a fact.
So that was what King Crooked and Joell Ortiz had to say about what Royce and Joe has said so far. Um, it's currently 1:36 in the morning a.m. where I am right now. I don't know if I'll do the reaction to Backstage tonight or not. If I don't, be looking for that tomorrow as long as my health allows, because I really, 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 really want to react to that really, really badly. I wanted to react to it when it dropped, but um, I had some stuff going on with my health and I couldn't. Um, so I apologize for that, but hopefully everything will be okay, and hopefully I'll have that reaction out for y'all no later than tomorrow night. And I have another reaction that I have to get out for my boy Vane Majors. So that reaction will be out hopefully by tomorrow night as well. So yeah, y'all. After hearing all this, I'm with King Crooked and Joell Ortiz all the way. Um, I just am. It doesn't take away from the fact that Royce and Joe Budden are still amazing lyricists, very talented, 2 of the best lyricists to ever do it. It doesn't take away from the fact that Slaughterhouse was an amazing, amazing rap group and could have been the #1 rap group in the world right now had they stayed together, but sadly they didn't. And everything happens for a reason. So um I think Kid Crooked and Joell Ortiz make a dope team, and I love everything I've ever heard from both of them. And Vacancy was amazing. I can't wait to hear Backstage, so I will have that reaction up just as soon as I am able to, y'all. Like I said, hopefully at the latest tomorrow, Sunday night. Um, but y'all let me know in the comments, what do y'all think of all this? What do y'all think about what King Crooked and Joell Ortiz had to say? What do y'all think about what I had to say? Where do y'all stand with all of this? Um, if y'all hadn't checked out uh, Royce and Joe Budden's responses, it's the video before this one. And then if y'all haven't checked out my bar breakdown reaction to Vacancy, check that out. Make sure y'all go run the numbers up. Even though it's at 1.6 million views, let's get it to 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, and up. Go watch the music video Vacancy by Kid Crooked, Joell Ortiz featuring Black Soul. Y'all go run the numbers up for the song Backstage. I haven't heard it yet, but I can't wait to hear it, and I will be doing a reaction to that really, really soon. Um, but yeah, y'all comment below y'all's thoughts about what's going on about my reaction. Be real, be respectful, please, but be real. Please like this video on your way out. It's a lot more important than you think. And please subscribe to my channel, y'all. April G. Score, fist bump. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all just a little bit. Peace out.